Hello, everyone. It's Chris Evoy from the Evoy Real Estate Team with Remax Affiliates. I'm joined today with Elyse McCurdy from Elyse McCurdy Home Designs. And we're going to learn a little bit about architectural and some interior design stuff. So everybody, this is Elyse. Welcome.
All right. Well, thank you for having me.
Oh, our pleasure. Yes. So can you tell us a little bit about your business, just to start out with?
Yeah, so I focus on architectural design. So really that's home design at its core. I focus on custom homes and renovations. So I am really kind of the beginning point of when clients come to me, when they're thinking that they want to do a custom home or a large renovation. They kind of like, this is what we want to do, but how do we have this happen? So a lot of the times, like Facebook and Instagram have been really great business tool for me because I can explain what I do. So a lot of business comes that way and word of mouth. And so often the first step, they'll say, I want to build a house. And then we'll have our first meeting and we go through the whole process and talk about wish lists. So I really get to have the fun of drawing the house, designing the house. And then I do all of the technical drawings. I do all of the permitting for them. So in a nutshell, Cole's notes, that's what I do.
For fun too, eh? Especially the green aspect. Yeah, you get to be creative. And so how many years have you been in business, Elyse?
So my business, I've been independent for 3 years.
Amazing.
So since 2018. Yeah. So before that, I was with a bigger company. So been doing it entirely since 2010. So it goes fast.
Well, I was looking through your background, your education, and it's quite extensive, the amount of education you have in this field too. And so where did you go to school? Was it Toronto, I think?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to OCAD University, so Ontario College of Art and Design University. So it was a really, it was an amazing experience. Grew up in Ottawa, but I always felt that Ottawa was lacking really like the design programs. And I think more than anything, I just kind of wanted to kind of have that experience of being in a different city that's really kind of art focused, design focused. There's amazing schools in Ottawa, but I just was searching for something a little bit different. So went to Toronto, did 4 years, and I knew I would come back to Ottawa. So so I came back with my degree and started working. For the type of work that I have to do, I have to be a registered designer. So with the Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing. So I have to stay as a registered designer. I have to stay insured. So in order to do stuff like that, you have to pass the series of exams. And so did that. So I got to put in time, and so it's just been a process.
That's amazing. Great. And so what areas do you attract your clients from? I know you live in the Beckwith area, but you must attract clients from the city as well as the smaller communities, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, I do. So in the beginning, it was very much Beckwith. And like I was saying, word of mouth and what we were touching on before, mutual people we know in the community, right? So that's how I really independently got my start, was word of mouth by other small businesses. And then I got an online profile like most businesses do. And I sort of started to market myself, kind of just showing what I do, talking about what I do. And the rest has kind of come that way. So I have clients really Ottawa Valley, Beckwith, Lanark, Ottawa, a lot in the West End, which is nice. But I also have clients in the East End of Ottawa and some other parts of Ontario. And I even have a house that I did in the States. But
oh, wow.
But those are like few and far between.
But it's cool. It's a big area you cover. And I mean, such a unique business too, right? I mean, you must deal a lot with just mainly new construction plus renovations.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of custom homes and then large renovations. So people that want to do like big additions, second story additions, stuff like that.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So the next question we have for you is what is your favorite thing to do in your spare time? You're not creating amazing spaces.
Yeah, well, I have two kids, two little boys, so they keep me pretty busy. So I feel like I don't really have a lot of spare time.
That is spare
So,
time. Yeah.
or my spare time is spent with them. But if I have a moment to myself, I really like reading. I'm
Nice.
always reading, so yeah.
Excellent. The next question we have for you is what is something people do not know about your business? What would you explain to them as something that something that the people wouldn't know that you do?
Yeah. I think more than anything beyond like processes, I think that people aren't really sure. Like they're sometimes surprised, but then sometimes not that I do the architectural drawings or the permitting process. And I would say like the other really big component is clients that come to me don't know the process in which they really, my biggest pain point would be people that contact me. So next, spring 22, they're like, I want to build a house. Well, that ship has sort of sailed because there's a lot of planning. So yeah.
And people aren't aware of how many permits and all the zoning and all the different things that can come up, right? So it's really important to have someone like you kind of helping guide the way and just knowing the ins and outs of all those different things, right?
Exactly. Yeah, that's half of it.
It's more of an educational process for a lot of people, right? And yeah, a lot of people don't know like the timelines, right? How long does it take to build a house? But again, the first steps can take the longest, right? Just even plans in place and the permits and picking the right lots. Yeah.
Totally. And like I was saying before, like I'm the first step in that process, regardless of new construction or renovation. So, and just me and my process that I could be 3 to 6 months. So that's outside of getting, your contracts and your trades all in place and your permits and your materials. So so I'd say that.
You would probably work hand in hand with the general contractor as well, right? During the whole process of building, correct?
Yeah, yes. Sometimes it depends on the project. Some clients, I just hand off the stuff, the permit package and the complete architectural drawing set, and they just kind of realize it on their own. And then before we started recording, I kind of touched on how I work with contractors and other designers, in our area. And so that too, sometimes it really depends on the project. We really lean on each other and we really, through the whole process, it can be a real team effort. And so it depends on the project and what's sort of required of me.
Absolutely, for sure. The next question we had for you is what would your clients say they love most about you and your company? So what would it be?
That was hard.
Yeah.
I like to think that I make it enjoyable process. Just because can be daunting, it can be scary. And I think that clients really look at the big picture and then they get overwhelmed. So I try to make it a fun process to go through with them and kind of break it up into different compartments, sort of, in different steps along the way so that they don't get overwhelmed. And more than anything, I just want to make, me approachable so they're not afraid to ask questions, and I want to make it fun. So absolutely. I like to think that it's fun.
You make it a stress-free situation.
I try.
Navigate the whole process. And it should be fun, right? It shouldn't be this stressful situation, especially if you're about a brand new house or a huge renovation.
Yeah, totally. So I think, in real estate for you, like I think it's sort of similar where it can feel really scary and daunting, but a home is amazing and exciting and it should be something you love. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
not be stressful and an awful experience getting there.
Exactly. And I don't think people realize what happens behind the scenes, right? You're just giving them this picture of like, you're making things move smoothly. But if people only knew what happens behind the scenes, right? All the
Yes.
like the craziness, but you help make it smooth. And again, the transition is easier for them. Then the next question we had, Elyse, was what are the goals that you have for your company in the future? Like, where do you plan on taking this?
Um, yeah, that's also hard because
It is, yeah.
I feel like I am a little bit different in that small business. Like currently, I do not want a team. I'm really content actually with just me.
Yeah.
Sometimes I contract work out when I need to, so I have that. But I think for especially for new businesses, I think there's a lot of emphasis on like that's how we define success by having a team, by growing that way. But I see it a little bit differently. I really find that designing homes is really intimate. So I like to keep the process intimate. So I'd say most people would say probably growing and having a team. I love being small. Um,
The personal
I
experience. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And I think more than anything, my personal business sort of process of systems and how I do stuff, like I think that would be an area I would love to improve on. Right now, my office is in my home. If we're gonna have a goal, yeah, maybe one day it won't be, but right
Right
now,
now.
yeah, it's still my business still feels really like in its infancy. It's less than 5 years, so giving myself a lot of grace. I've thankfully have done really well in a short amount of time, so I'm just kind of enjoying it and having fun. I have library plans, so I guess a short-term goal would be to like put a library online for anybody to view. Right now, right? Just sort of keep
Yeah.
it. You have to inquire and then I share it. So yeah, so little goals, I guess, to get to bigger dreams.
And I don't think people realize too with the new age of business, there's so much that goes into the online, the social media aspect too, right? So you're building your business there. You might not see it like bricks and mortar,
Yes.
but there's a tremendous amount of work that goes into a business just on the online presence. And like you
Yeah.
said, being offering, you know, people are getting into podcasts now and all these other avenues, right? So it's
Yeah.
such an
Yeah.
exciting business. Any business can become bigger, but not again bricks and mortar or a big team.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I like to look at it exactly like that. Like, a podcast, a blog, who knows? So I think those are really great aspirations that a business can have as well.
Absolutely, that's so cool. Um, One of the last questions we have is there anything you'd like existing or new clients to know about your company?
I guess more than anything, kind of touching on the earlier ones, is just plan ahead. I feel like I harp that a lot on my social media, and really just trying to always emphasize get in touch early. It's a very long process, all before a shovel hits the ground.
Yeah.
That would be my biggest thing that I want people to know. And often plan like a year out. So don't look at 22, you should be looking at 23, just as a whole.
Yeah.
COVID and what everything has thrown into the construction industry is just insane
Yeah.
and
Everything's
overrun.
up,
And
right? Yeah.
yeah, yeah, even beyond just, COVID delays, shipments, materials, it's also labor.
Yeah.
You know,
Every aspect of the building process, right? Including, even getting permits,
yeah,
to getting the contractors in, and the cost of materials now has skyrocketed too, right? So
yeah,
it's hard to get certain things, and we felt that pinch in our business too. Like, even with new home construction, getting clients in, just seems to get pushed, a
yes.
month or 2 months, and so everything kind of falls behind. But yeah, no, it's exciting, and like it's been an interesting year and a half, or I guess year and a little more than a year and a half now with COVID, right? So to be able to navigate that landscape has it been challenging for you?
Yeah, very much the same, where it's just, I've had a lot of houses where I really have worked close with the clients and we really put together an amazing design. We got the permits, and then they get really deflated when they find out, they start getting pricing.
Right.
They're
Yeah.
realizing how quickly it's coming up. So there's been quite a few projects that I've had that have been put on the back burner that get put to, that were supposed to be 21 and now they're going to be 22. Hopefully they happen, because that's really disheartening for the client. So,
Yeah.
and as well for me, because I want them to have the home that we worked on together. So I would say in so many ways, it has just really had an impact on everything.
Yeah. In all aspects. I think pretty much every business has, right? Seen the.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's not easy for anyone. So we're
No.
all just trying to adapt and figure things out. So more than anything, also just sort of being flexible. So
Yeah.
yeah, you don't really know what to prepare for.
Patience and flexibility, right? That's the key to COVID, I think. And again, it's been an interesting year and a half. But if we all, get through it, we'll be better on the other end, right? And I think our businesses have been able to succeed, and hopefully yours continues to grow. And it's been amazing learning a little bit more about your business. And we'll put a couple links to your webpage, as well as your social media stuff, so people can check out all the cool stuff that you've done, and they'll be able to get in touch with you if they can plan ahead.
Yeah, more than anything. I want to work with them, and so it's crazy. Like, I'm booking into March, April right now, so I'd add on another 6 months just with me. So yeah, you gotta really plan ahead. So
Awesome.
thank you for having me.
Yes, thanks again for being on this interview, and again, great to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.